How to train to be in the best shape of your life ever at age 25 to 50 plus is a career focused man. So throughout high school and college, I had a lot of time to train. Yeah, I was focused on school at a part-time job, but still I was able to focus a lot of energy on training. Then I got into my first sales job to where I was traveling, I was driving. Some days I was working 15 hours. So I had to find an efficient way to train and eat while I was traveling, moving around, working a lot of hours to still get in great shape, to have my health in check, my fitness in check. And this is how I came up with these training methods and how I helped out some of my clients that I'm about to list off in this video for you, and how you can use the same principles for yourself. So my client Mark, he currently does ministry and he wants to spend a lot of time still with his family. He's currently the strongest that he's ever been at over the age of 50. He texts me consistently saying that he's the strongest he's ever been. He's even stronger than he was when he was in college. And it is because of this training style. He's worked with other trainers, he's tried different programs, but he's never seen results like this. It's because of this specific training style that I'm going to share with you. Zach, he has a career in luxury hair. Part of the thing with his career is that he has to travel. So what we did is we found a routine and principles that still get him great results while he's traveling and working long hours doing hair. And Warren, he runs multiple businesses, so he's very busy and he's taking care of a lot of things and he has stress with his work. He didn't have the extra time to go to the gym, so we had to make a routine that could get him phenomenal results from his home gym. And Warren, he only works out 3 times a week for 20 to 30-minute sessions. Within 1 month together, he's lost over 10 pounds and he's hit PRs on all of his lifts. And it's because of these principles that I'm about to share with you in the next slide. The first principle to seeing these phenomenal results in such a short amount of time for the workouts is training with high intensity. Now, there's a large misconception of what high intensity training is. Some common beliefs are that you get a really big burn in your workout, or a workout that causes you to be sore, that you're out of breath, or you just had a really taxing or difficult workout. You could have all of these things and you aren't training with high intensity. What intensity means is simply how close you're training to failure. So if you're training with high intensity, you're training very close to muscular failure. Either all the way to muscular failure or within 2 reps of muscular failure is considered high intensity training. Now, why is high intensity training so important and how does it shorten workouts? The last 5 reps approaching muscular failure is where most of the muscle growth is going to occur. So it's super common. All of my clients have had workouts like this before, to where they would do 3, 5, maybe even 6 sets on an exercise and they would only take the last set to failure. This is completely unnecessary. You can get even better results by just doing that 1 set to failure, because all the other sets that they did were just taxing the body, causing unnecessary fatigue and not stimulating muscle growth, and also just taking up way more time. That's 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times as much time as they needed to spend on that specific exercise, getting a subpar result. So what is muscular failure? Muscular failure is to where you cannot do another full repetition on a set. Some people may say muscular failure is to where you cannot do any movement on a set, and this is just simply not true. It's to where you cannot do another full repetition. Let's say I'm doing a bicep curl and this is my 5th rep, and I go for a 6th rep and I can't get it. I actually hit muscular failure on the 5th rep, because after I did my full 5th repetition, that's where I was not able to do another full rep. It's not at a partial range of motion or anything like that. It's to where you're not able to do another full additional rep. So you may be wondering, whenever I'm training at a high intensity, how many of these sets should I be taking to failure that I should be doing per week? And this isn't including warm-up sets at all. You should be doing 1 to 4 sets per muscle. Now, based off of the prior ways that you've trained, this may be shocking to you. Mark, for example, was doing 15 to 25 sets a week whenever we first started working together. And when I gave him the new program, he was just doing 1 to 4 sets a week. He went from pressing the 60-pound dumbbells on bench to the 100-pound dumbbells at bench in under 3 months. And this was with him consistently training before, trying other programs, working with other coaches. So it's not like he was inexperienced, but this is how much of a shift you can see whenever you do the right things and you eliminate the wrong things in your training. So only 1 to 4 sets per week. And the reason why we're able to do this is because you're training at a higher intensity, but also a higher frequency. You'll see more muscle growth from doing 1 set 3 different times a week than doing 3 sets 1 time a week, which I'll cover a bit more later. There is a huge misconception, and this can come from work, but also, as you guys know from running a business, that more work doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make more money and have a better result. The better your process is, the better your result will be. It's the same exact thing with working out. The better your process is, the better your results are going to be, and you can do less work and see a better result if your process is better. Another misconception is that whenever you're in the gym, you're causing micro tears to the muscle, and that this causes the body to make the muscle grow. This is simply not true. Causing micro tears and tears to the body is all that's going to do is cause more soreness and it's not going to cause more muscle growth. What we actually want to do is limit the amount of muscle damage that we're causing to the muscle, but have the highest signal for the muscle to grow. What causes the muscle to grow is actually a signal that it's sending to the body. And this signal is sent throughout the body whenever you're training close to muscular failure. So those last 5 reps approaching muscular failure, those are going to signal to the body that I need to grow. Not muscle damage, not soreness. Those things are not related, not even the pump and the blood flow to the muscle. You can see here, this is a graph that I listed out. This is from a study. Whenever you are training to failure with 2.5 minute rest, at least 2-minute rest, at 1 set per week, you will see muscle growth. But it takes about another 3 to 4 sets in a week to see double the amount of muscle growth. And that is because muscle growth is not linear. Right around 4 to 6 sets a week is where you're going to cap off, and that's per muscle. You're going to cap off the amount of muscle growth that you're going to get from your sets. And anything from there, you're going to see the law of diminishing return, where you're seeing more fatigue. It's more for your body to recover from your training than it is to grow. So you want to be, for the muscles that you want to grow the most, you want to be doing around 4 sets per week. Number 3 of ways that we're able to shorten our workouts and see even better results with these shorter workouts is due to higher frequency. As I said earlier, you'll see more muscle growth from doing 1 set 3 different times a week than doing 3 sets on 1 occasion in the week. So what we want to do is train each muscle 2 to 3 times a week. This can either be done by doing an upper body, lower body split, or training full body 3 times a week. Actually, you can see phenomenal results training full body once or twice a week if you're really limited on time. But one of the reasons why this high frequency training is super important is because even if you're training different muscles on consecutive days, let's say one day you're training chest and the next day you're training back, your chest isn't going to be involved in your back movements, or at least it shouldn't be. Your central nervous system fatigue from the previous session before is still going to have negative effects on your following workout. So even if you're doing a different split of training to where it's not upper, lower, or full body, it's still beneficial to have at least 1 day of rest between your workouts for the nervous system to recover. The nervous system is what tells the muscle to contract, and the better contractions you get in a workout, the closer you're able to take that muscle to failure and get a better growth response. Also, whenever you train specific muscles and movements at a higher frequency, your central nervous system adapts to this movement. So you may have heard somebody say, I don't switch out the movements that I do so I can get better at the movement, which means get stronger at the movement, have possibly better form. This is because your central nervous system adapts to the movement, which is going to help you get stronger. All of these things are going to help you get stronger. And the number 1 sign to tell that your training is working is that you're getting stronger, your performance is improving. So when you're getting stronger, your muscle is growing. And actually, one of the best indicators to tell that you're going to live longer is that you have a bigger, stronger muscle, unless you're doing something like taking steroids. As I stated previously, the number 1 sign to tell that your training is working is that you're improving. So whenever you're doing strength training or lifting and you want your muscle to grow, you want to get stronger, the best sign to tell that you're improving is that you're getting stronger, also known as achieving progressive overload. There's a common misconception that progressive overload, or one of the aspects of progressive overload, is adding sets. And this is not true. Adding more workload or more sets is not progressive overload. That's adding progressive workload to your training. What progressive overload is improving and doing more repetitions, doing more weight, or doing both. An example of this is an exercise where you're doing 135 pounds, you do 5 reps, then the next session you do 6 reps. That is progressive overload in the aspect that you increased your reps. Another example is, let's say you do 135 and you do 5 reps. The following session you decide to add 5 extra pounds. So you do 140 and you get 5 reps again. You achieve progressive overload, 5 pounds of strength on that lift. Or let's say you really adapt to your training very well and you improve in weight and repetitions. In this example, the person does 135 pounds for 5 reps. They go in the next session. They're like, you know what? Man, I'm warming up. I feel strong. They put 140 pounds on the bar. They get to their 5th rep and they're like, I can do another. You do 140 for 6. This person improved in weight and reps. And all these examples are examples of progressive overload, not adding an additional set. Now you know how many sets to do per week, you know how frequent to train each muscle, but how many reps should you be doing for your set? So the last 5 reps approaching muscular failure is where most of the muscle is going to grow. So any reps that you do over that is just causing unnecessary fatigue. So where I have my clients train is the 5 to 12 rep range in the earlier months. And around month 2 to 4, I have them switch to 5 to 8 reps. Now you might be asking, why don't you have them do 5 to 8 reps the whole time? Whenever you're new to lifting or you haven't lifted in a while, it can be hard to maintain great form in the 5 to 8 rep range. So that's why earlier in the program, in 2 to 4 months in, I have my clients lift in the 5 to 12 rep range so they can start getting better at maintaining form and lifting to failure with a lighter load. And over time, maintain that form and lift to failure with heavier loads in that 5 to 8 rep range. Now, progressive overload is improving on weight or reps or both. So you might be thinking, when should I add weight? Once you get to this 5 to 8 rep range to where you're able to move weight very well in that rep range and take the muscle to failure, once you do 8 reps on a movement, add weight. So let's say you do a bench press, you do 135 pounds for 8 reps. You can add 10 pounds to the bar in the following session. Let's say you do 6 reps. You stay at 145 for your following sessions until you're able to do 8 reps, and then you can increase in weight. This is a great way to know when to add weight, but stay in a rep range that isn't causing unnecessary fatigue. And whenever you don't cause unnecessary fatigue, you'll get stronger faster. And the faster that you get stronger, the more muscle that you're going to gain. Now you know exactly how to train, but you're wondering, where should I do this? Here are the top 3 locations to do this. So as long as you're taking the muscle to failure and you're able to add weight on your exercises over time, you're going to see phenomenal results. This can be done at a gym, Planet Fitness, or at home, or a home gym if you have a home gym. So try to find a gym nearby you that has good equipment. One of the biggest reasons why people aren't consistent is because it's inconvenient for them to go to the gym. So if you have a good gym in your area, sign up for that membership. Let's say you don't have many good gyms in your area or you travel a lot. Planet Fitness is a great option because there's so many different locations that it's likely that there's one nearby to you, or if you travel very frequently, there's going to be a location in your area. And Planet Fitness gets a lot of hate, but they have great equipment. And as long as you aren't maxing out the machines, you're able to take your muscle to failure and add weight over time on these, which is the 2 biggest focuses to have in having good training. Or at home, you can take the muscle to failure and add weight with a backpack, a weight belt, on exercises like push-ups, pull-ups, or maybe just buy some light dumbbells or a cable machine. You're able to get great workouts at home, and as long as you're doing these things at taking the muscle to failure and you're able to add weight or repetitions to the movement, you're going to see great results. If you want to improve your health and fitness while traveling, focusing on your career, your family, and still having a social life, and you're able to dedicate 1 to 4 sessions a week for 10 to 60 minutes, fill out the application in the description below, book in a time to talk with me or somebody on my team on the calendar, and we can come up with a game plan to get you in the best shape of your life. And if it makes sense, discuss coaching options. Thank you for tuning into the video, and God bless.